Year already more wins than all of last season with 13. And she has done a great job this year looking for their 10th home win tonight. Last time they did that was 2019-2020. And we are just about set to get underway. Our officials tonight, Jenna Cross, Lisa Jones, Iffy Seals. And we are underway. There are so many keys to this basketball game. I mean, there's more keys than a junior high janitor wears.
Right, there's so much. These teams know each other so well. Once you get to Big 12 play, you know how the other teams play. You know their identity. So now it's who can execute the best, whose pace tonight is this game going to favor? That's the big question.
And offensive rebounding, because this is what makes OU dangerous. They get the offensive rebound and they hit the three. That's something that concerned Krista Gerlich today.
It is. That was the first thing she said to us in shoot-around today was if they get an offensive rebound, they're either going to get fouled or they're going to hit a three. And first play of the game, that's exactly what they did.
And then the turnover. Yunus, a great pass to Tot on the layup. Got it. Tot already with 5 in the ball game.
Tech is going to have to find a way to get some scores and get back in transition because this OU team has such a high-powered offense.
Tatum Weitenheimer getting the start, only her 3rd start of the season, the first since November 16th for Tech. She's a former Oklahoma Sooner, former roommate of Maddie Williams. In size, Jazz Lewis, point blank. Margin of error, not small, but not big. Texas Tech's got to make those shots.
They really do, and that was a beautiful, should have been assist there by Bryn Gerlich to Jazz. And Jazz finishes at a high clip in the paint, so that she's not going to miss very many of those shots.
Well, West Virginia in the Baylor game, Tot was 0 for 2 shooting. Came back in the Iowa State game 4 for 10, and that was huge. And now she starts off 3 for 3.
That's a good sign for them, but that's part of why they're so talented offensively. They have such balanced scoring across the board, especially with their 5 starters and then Skylar Vann off the bench for them.
And right now in the beginning, Texas Tech getting just 1 shot. That's it. Robertson pokes it. Yanusa playing with that brace on her right knee. Dribble penetration. Scott turnaround. No. Weitenheimer tipped it into the hands of Jasmine Shavers, the redshirt freshman out of Mesquite, Texas. There's Shavers on Yanusa. Great screen by Lewis. Opened her up, and Maddie Williams has it. And this is what makes Maddie Williams so dangerous. She lost the ball, but she can lead the break. Shavers on Williams, counted, and Williams commits the foul.
Great finish there by Jasmine Shavers. But like we saw on the last one, too, on her jumper, if we set good screens, Tech is going to get some open shots, and they just have to stay confident and knock those down.
Skylar Vann coming into the lineup for Oklahoma, number 24, the junior out of Deer Creek High School in Edmond, Oklahoma. Also coming in for Texas Tech, Elatofe Ono, the senior out of Sydney, Australia, transfer out of A&M. Here's Jazz Shavers. Both coaches making early substitutions in this game. Now, if you haven't followed Tech, Krista Gerlich has mixed and matched her lineup a lot this season. And Coach Barachek telling us that makes it difficult because they have so many different parts.
Correct. That was one of her concerns, the communication, because your matchups are going to be switching almost every time down the floor with different people subbing in because they have so many different lineup looks.
Ana Yanusa leading the Big 12 in points per game in conference play. Inside, coming out of the pack is Vann, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called. And the foul is going to be on Katie Farrell. Katie Farrell, they've got to keep her in the game. She's fouled out of all 3 Big 12 games so far. How about the keys to the game? We'll look at Oklahoma first.
You know, first and foremost, she talked about just energy and intensity, because when you're on the road, you have to be focused to win road games in the Big 12. And then, like we just talked about, their communication. There's going to be different lineups. There's going to be different defenses thrown at them by Tech. And they have to have great communication all night long. And then lastly, they got to do what they do, and that's attack offensively. They want to score early. They want to score often. And so they've just got to stay in attack mode offensively.
12-3 is their score. Oklahoma's hit 5 of their first 6 shots. Elatofe Ono inside. How about Skylar Vann on that last play? Great pass. This is a veteran Oklahoma team. They've been together a couple years. The big difference for them has been in practices.
Right, because they've been together for so long. This is really a veteran team that has played together a lot. So they understand the system. They understand how to play together.
Shavers thought she had the mismatch on Taylor Robertson, took advantage of it. And the lead cut to 7. From the outside, Skylar Vann had 17 in the last meeting between these two teams. Texas Tech beat Oklahoma in Norman last year in that contest. And here is Bryn Gerlich. Yes, that is the coach's daughter. She had treatment on her leg on Monday, was really in a lot of pain because of a back problem. Didn't practice Monday, came out yesterday and shot well as Katie Farrell hits the turnaround.
Great finish there, and that's what Tech needs to do. Come down, execute. They're going to get good shots. They've got to take some time. They want to slow this pace down just a little bit, or else this is going to favor Oklahoma.
And you won't see the coaches calling a bunch of timeouts. Jenny Baranczyk has a great theory, and I agree with her 100%. She wants her players to play through the difficulties.
Right, and especially down the stretch of a game, and coaches have different philosophies on that. Some are die hard, we're calling a timeout and setting something up.
Right.
Some coaches want their players to make plays and figure it out, and I think it just depends on your team. And with this Oklahoma team being so veteran, she trusts them to make good decisions.
Ana Yunusa coming too close to our table. Didn't want her to get hurt again. How about the keys to the game for Krista Gerlich's squad?
First and foremost is transition defense, because on makes and on misses, Oklahoma is just running the ball down your throat. So they've got to get back. They've got to try to slow the ball down in transition. And then control the pace, like we talked about. If this game turns into a track meet, that's going to favor Oklahoma. They've got to control the pace a little bit, get this game in the 70s and not necessarily the 90s. And then lastly, just protect home court.
Exactly.
You know, road wins are hard to come by in the Big 12, and you got to win your games at home as much as possible.
Tech coming off that big win over TCU, had a run at the end of the ball game, which sealed the victory. Had a good day of practice yesterday. They worked on the situation they're in now with less than 20 on the shot clock. Didn't want them to hurry. They want them to get a good shot. Bailey Maupin, the freshman, has it blocked. That's called running the court and rewarding Beatrice Culleton.
Watch Oklahoma's players offensively. The minute that the rebound is secured, their first 3 steps down the floor are tremendously hard. They are running. There's no hanging out. They are getting back down the floor looking to score.
4 of their 5 starters average 2 assists a game. 5 total on the team. And Oklahoma averages over 20 assists a game. Here's Farrell, not known for three-point shooting, off the side. Rebound pulled away by Aubrey Jones, the sister of Ashley Jones of Iowa State. Also known as a three-point shooter, flicks it up, Maupin pulls it away.
Tech's done a really good job since the beginning of the game, where they gave up a couple early offensive rebounds of one and doneing them when Oklahoma misses, being able to get the rebound and take it the other direction.
Texas Tech on a 2-minute scoring drought. Here is Bree Scott. Didn't start the game, and she's going to be fouled on the play. She was disqualified in the last game and felt awful about that. But she's in now. And Oklahoma doubling up on Tech. We are with 3:30 left in the.
So this Oklahoma team, and that's partly why they're so good. You know, they share the basketball. They don't care who scores on any given night. Everybody has the ability to score.
Jenny Baranczyk was very generous with her time yesterday when we talked to her. And she talked about the energy they play with offense. She said we have to read and we have to flow on offense.
Right. She doesn't want to run a whole lot of sets. She wants them to make basketball plays and run down in transition and score before the defense is set, and score in the first, 7 seconds of the shot clock if possible.
Here is Bre'Amber Scott out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Started her career at Mississippi State, then went to Little Rock. Getting to the free throw line is one of her specialties. Averages 6 free throw attempts a game. Those two make it a 5-point contest.
Right. Her ability to get to the foul line has been so good for Tech this season, and they need that. They need that extra offense from her.
Lewis can't get it. Skylar Vann does. A beautiful pass inside. Culleton can't finish. Vann gets it back. Culleton says go this way. Scott with a jumper, no. Gerlich pulls it away to Maupin.
Tech got lucky there that they left that possession, empty for Oklahoma because they got multiple offensive rebounds.
Lewis had great position, then gets the roll. Oklahoma just one of their last 9 shooting the basketball, and all of a sudden the lead is 3. It was 9 for the Sooners, but Van drops it off.
Little miscommunication there on defense. Nobody was matched up with Skylar Van. And for me, Skylar Van is the X factor to the Sooner team. Big 12 Sixth Player of the Year last season, coming off the bench again this year, and she just does so much that's underrated for the Sooners team.
Maupin can't get it, and you and I were talking during the break as Jazz Lewis gets poked in the face. That Texas Tech has missed shots right point-blank range already.
They really have. They missed a couple of layups. They've missed some wide-open jumpers. And with a team like Oklahoma, not only do you got to try to get stops, but you've got to make your open shots.
Exactly. Here is Bryn Gerlich out front. Over 500 career points this season, and as Brandy mentioned, over 300 assists. Maupin, nice pump fake, got Jones in the air and makes her pay.
Sign of a smart scorer there. She got blocked on her last jumper using that shot fake, and she's going to find a way to score the basketball.
Now she's been off the bench the last 3 games, but the TCU game broke out of a 1 for 11 3-point shooting slump by going 2 for 3. That's going to be a turnover. We'll go the other way with it. Ani Yanusa will come back into the lineup for the Sooners along with Liz Scott. And Katie Farrell's going to come back in also. And Krista Gerlich understands Katie Farrell. They played with each other at UTA, and Katie Farrell can get in foul trouble, so Krista's going to keep an eye on it. She did talk to Katie about staying in the game. Maupin on the drive, and she gets the foul called, and that's going to be on Scott. And that'll be her first.
Katie plays with so much emotion, and I love that. I love players that play with emotion, but sometimes it can get her in trouble. And she slaps and reaches in her excitement and picks up some cheap ones, but she is veteran, she's smart, she understands that when she's not on the floor because of foul trouble, that's hurting her teammates.
Exactly, and she has become a huge crowd favorite here, just like she was at UTA when Krista was coach, and of course Sharika Wright was coach last year. I talked to Sharika today, and they always ask me, how's Katie doing?
She's doing great. I know Chris is happy to have her here.
Oh, yeah.
She's
going to be a big-time coach one of these days.
I'm excited to follow her career.
And the lead is down to 1, and that's going to be a charge, and Gerlich took it. She has taken charges this season, which has caused her back problems. She took one in the chest, 2-3 weeks ago you and I saw? We didn't think she was going to get up.
That one was a tough one, too. She is never afraid to sacrifice her body, but I'll tell you what, it's a long Big 12 season, and Bryn needs to stay on the floor. So, honestly, I would give up a few of her charges to keep her healthy.
Texas Tech has never led in this ball game. Bryn Gerlich has played through so much pain this season, can't get it. Farrell pokes it, goes right into the hands of Kennedy Tucker, the senior out of Little Rock. And then Tucker called for the charge. Maupin learning from the senior.
I like it. She's a little sneaky defensively. She's going to get up in you when you least expect it and take a little push off. I'll take that.
Now, Bailey Maupin's only 5'10". She may be, $115, $120 maybe. Folks, let me tell you, this is a girl that got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work on her dad's cattle ranch. I mean, she worked with cows in the morning, made sure they fed, sneaks back door, gets the 2, Tech has the lead. She does it all.
She does. That's why they call her West Texas Tough.
Yeah, that is.
But beautiful execution there, and that's part of Texas Tech's keys. If they set good screens, it's going to lead to some open offense for them.
6-0 run by the Lady Raiders, and a foul's going to be called. Nice drive by Nevaeh Todd. Oklahoma problems with turnovers, something you don't see a whole lot of. 3 the last 203. That foul, by the way, was on Maupin. That was her first personal. Here is Yanusa. Saw the crowd. Scott tried to take the charge. Outside, offensive rebound and put back by Scott.
Tech's doing a pretty decent job limiting, OU's first shot attempts, but they've got to put bodies on people and keep them. They're going to get enough opportunities with the pace that they want to play at. Tech's got to continue to one and done them on the glass.
And here is Liz Scott, the senior out of Tomball, Texas. Klein Oaks High School, academic second team, Big 12. And talking to the players yesterday in practice at Texas Tech, they said, Scott and Skylar Van have been thorns in our side.
Well, they're just those tough, hard-nosed players that come in and do all the little things. They defend, they rebound.
Final 5 seconds. Katie Farrell off balance, wanted the foul, not going to get it. And Tech will have it with 1.9 left in the quarter, down by 2.
After a tough start, Tech has really done a good job battling their way back, kind of settled in a little bit after Oklahoma came out with that kind of cannon effect right away on the road.
Now, we saw Kyla Freeland, the freshman, check into a game earlier this year and hit a shot with 1.5 left. Can she do it again? Puts it up. Got it, does it again! Have mercy!
That is Kyla Freeland's play right there, that little out-of-bounds play. They get an F3 for her. Tuck can score in a variety of ways and not just run this team. So, Maddie Williams and Yanusa and Taylor Robertson have been quiet so far this game, but Tot has been the problem tonight so far.
How about Tot in her first 2 years, back-to-back 100 assists in the season. First since Morgan Hook was able to do that. She has been very impressive in her career. But we start even in quarter number 2, along with Brandy Poole, WNBA coach, now with the Dallas Wings. I'm Ron Thulin, and congratulations to the newest assistant coach for the Dallas Wings, former Oklahoma Sooner, Courtney Parrish.
I'm so very excited to work with her. God, I remember watching her in her playing days. She's so talented. So to have her working with our post players is going to be such an asset. And I know so many people are excited to have her back in Dallas.
And then people have to realize how everybody loved Courtney Parrish in Dallas with the Wings. I remember, I know Courtney's probably watching tonight, I remember her having to put a blanket on her legs because it was so cold in the College Park Center. I used to crack up laughing doing the games.
Well, then we need to talk to management about turning up the heat a little bit.
Yeah, Courtney is just awesome. In fact, Maddie Williams, Courtney Parrish was the only Oklahoma Sooner to lead the team in rebounding 4 straight years until Maddie came along and has been able to do that. But congratulations for Courtney.
Right, Maddie's just a different kind of rebounder than Courtney, obviously.
Exactly.
But both super talented on the glass.
Second time in her career, Bre'Amber Scott's coming off back-to-back 20-point games. And in those 20-point games, she's shot a combined 45%. Gives Texas Tech the 1-point advantage.
Tech pulling out their signature press after that free throw can kind of slow them down a little bit there, too.
And the rebound pulled away by Lewis. Whistle and a foul is going to be called. And that's going to be on Maddie Williams. And that should be number 2 on her.
That was the definition of a frustration foul. She missed her layup.
Right.
She knows she's got to make that and turned around and fouled, and that's what you can't do.
Well, Jenny Baranchek wanted to get her out of the game. They were going to bring Skylar Van in. Inside, Lewis with the 2.
When Lewis is in the game, they've got to go to her. They've got to make Oklahoma defend in the paint.
And the 3 is buried.
You know what? But that's what a good player does. They let it go, they come back down, and she steps up and makes a big-time confident 3.
I tell you, you look in the past, she really didn't have a 15 to 18-footer, Maddie Williams. She's sort of added that this season. That's her 10th 3.
She's definitely very capable at the arc. She's just not asked to shoot a whole lot within their offensive system at times.
And a whistle and a foul is going to be called. Nice drive by Kirsten Johnson, the freshman out of Duncanville, Texas.
It's a big-time get for Oklahoma for her. She was a big-time recruit.
I mean, look at the pedigree of the people that have come out of Duncanville.
Right.
I think there's this girl called Ariel Atkins.
Right. She's pretty
fair.
good.
Yeah, she's okay.
So much talent out of that program, and just continuing it here. You see her ability to run the floor there, and just her length in the post really bothered Jazz Lewis on that last defensive possession. She's going to have some good years ahead of her.
Oh, I agree. 6'4" freshman, leads the team in blocks with 21. Had 11 versus Northwestern State for her career high. Led that Duncanville team to 34-7 record last season. Made it to the state semis.
That program knows how to win.
Oh, yeah. Men and the guys, too. Both of them do. Katie Farrell, nice pass inside. Scott.
Beautiful job there attacking their zone. Getting it to the high post. Bre'Amber Scott dove from the short corner.
Yanusa did not waste any time. Scott comes up with it. But you saw after that basket, Oklahoma doesn't waste any time getting the ball up the court, allowing the defense to set up. As Shavers on the drive.
No, not at all. And Tech's doing a good job taking advantage of some of their miscues and getting it back down the floor quickly themselves.
Krista Gerlich spent a lot of time in practice yesterday and today telling him you got to get back quickly. Oklahoma doesn't wait for you.
No, they don't, and they want to try to stop the ball and turn the ball as much as possible.
Quick move by Yanusa, parries the three. Pretty with a capital P.
Just such a pretty shooter. Her, Taylor Robertson, just really natural, quick release shooters on this team.
When you look at Yanusa, almost 50% of her shots, 49 to be exact, are from beyond the arc. Scott tries to match it. Katie Farrell. No, they're going to call a foul on Katie, I think.
Ooh, I'd like to see that replay because I feel like Katie got boxed out a little bit, undercut there on that rebound.
Well, that'll be her second personal foul. They're going to take her out of the game. Maupin will come back in. We'll look at it again.
Katie did kind of have her clamped, and that's a no-no. You can't lock your elbow.
So Oklahoma having to sit Maddie Williams with 2 personal fouls. Katie Farrell with 2. Yanusa's pull up, no. Nice box out by Scott. Gerlich gives it up. Shavers for 3. Maupin, nice job flying in from the left side. Can't corral the board.
And this is what Jenny Baranchek was talking about. There's so many different lineups.
Right.
Tech is now in their really small lineup with essentially Bryn Gerlich and Bre'Amber Scott at your post positions.
Yeah, exactly. Pull-up jumper by Johnson, no. And we saw Bryn Gerlich play the post against Colorado in that overtime win. She got beat up badly.
She did. Well, Quay Miller is a phenomenal player, and Bryn had to guard her for much of that game and did a great job on her.
And the reach-in foul, that's going to be on Taylor Robertson, who has not taken a shot yet in this ball game. Well, for Texas Tech, this is the 3rd-ranked opponent in 4 games. Losing to Iowa State, dropping 1 to Kansas, and then tonight against Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's been a brutal start to the Big 12 for Texas Tech, but that's everybody, right? There's what are there, 5, 6 ranked teams right now in the Big 12?
Oklahoma currently 19th. Shavers try to get her own board. Top the rebound. Nevaeh Tat out of McKinney, Texas. John Paul II High School. So calm running the point out front. Robertson. Oh, beautiful pass inside and Culleton. Outstanding position on Bryn Gerlich.
That was good high-low pass to Culleton, who had her posted up in the paint. But Tech did a good job taking some time off the shot clock, which is not how Oklahoma wants to play.
And Bryn Gerlich breaks a 2-minute scoring drought for the Lady Raiders. Turning into a tight game. This is a good game. I mean, Oklahoma had an exciting game against Iowa State over the weekend. Scott tipped it, Gerlich to Tatum Weitenheimer. Weitenheimer, who graduated in December out of Windthorst, Texas. From the outside, nothing but the bottom of the net.
This is a tough matchup for Culleton, and she just didn't guard Bryn at the arc. You know, she's not used to guarding a guard, basically,
right.
Who's playing the post, and you just can't leave Bryn open at the arc.
Last 3 games, Bryn was 0 for 7 from 3. That's the longest streak without a 3-pointer this season. And Tech up by 2. Substitutions coming in. Both teams have played 10. Wow.
But when you're playing this up-tempo, right, you want people to
right.
run and play as hard as they can, and then you can get them out, get them a quick breather, get them back in, keep everybody fresh.
I love it because there's so many different styles of play in the Big 12 this season. Makes it fun. Unless
It really
you're a
does.
coach. then it gives you an ulcer. But Yanusa posting up on Gerlich with a left hand.
But good defense there by Bren. She's smart. She's not going to pick up cheap fouls.
I mean, think about it. 332 days without playing a basketball game for Anna Yanusa. A lot of us have fouled her career, been calling Big 12, the back, the knees, the turnaround won't go. Gerlich the rebound. And to see that smile on Anna Yanusa's face this season has been so joyous to watch. Scott from the outside for three and knocks it down. And the lead is 3 outside. No. Nice job. Timeout's going to be called. Riley McKinney was able to keep it alive. And Scott did the smart thing and called the TO.
In the Big 12 right now. And Brent Gerlin just doing it all. Rebounding, assisting, scoring when she's left open. Really running her team well tonight.
I think if Krista Gerlich's got to be concerned about something is giving up second chance points. Oklahoma with 8. Texas Tech has only given up 11 second chance points total in the last 2 games. Ella Tofeono, who stepped up big in the TCU game with a little reverse.
My favorite Australian coming through tonight. Really nice reverse finish there.
Biggest lead of the game for the Raiders. It was 9 for Oklahoma. Almost the drag of the foot by Van. Maupin now guarding Yanusa. That's an interesting matchup.
Right, and then you've got Riley McKinney not giving Taylor Robinson any room to breathe.
Robertson looking for her first field goal of the game. Can't get it. Scott battles for the rebound. It's going to be a foul called on Tucker.
That's what you got to be careful about, because Taylor Robertson came off that screen and you get hit at all and she is letting it fly.
Yep.
So you've got to have a little help from the post player, some kind of contest, because she is going to let that go.
Taylor Robertson so far in this game 0 for 2. Texas Tech has hit their last 4 field goal attempts, closing in on 3 minutes to play in the half. Ella Tofeono to Maupin. On top, Gerlich launches, can't get it. Yanusa McKinney picks her up. Now they switch. Jones outside. Talk about a quick shot. I mean, you look at Robertson and Jones. Last year, of course, Jones was at Iowa State. Those two combined made 234 threes.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's more than most teams.
Right. I mean, the fact that Taylor Robertson, 90% of her shots are threes.
Yeah.
That is really high. Some of the best shooters in the country, it's like 70% of their shots are threes. Taylor Robertson, 90%. But she's such a pure shooter. She needs very little time or space to get it off. Such a quick release. So the fact that she's 0 for 2 right now, that's advantage Tech.
It doesn't mean anything, though. I've seen her just all of a sudden go bang, bang, bang.
I have too, multiple times.
Our good friend Brenda Van Langen's probably watching in Kansas City. We did a game at Oklahoma State 4 or 5 years ago, and all of a sudden you saw Robertson just bang, bang, bang. And poor Jim Littell was looking on the other side like, we can't stop this game.
Right. Oh, no, she can get going at any
time. How about
time.
That's an impressive stat between the two of them.
Right. Well, you knew when both of them decided to come back for their 5th year that Oklahoma was going to have a special year, because these two players, Maddie Williams, Taylor Robertson, has just meant so much to this Sooner program. And I think that speaks a lot to Jenny Bronchek and how she's come in and just re-energized this program. But Sherry Cole did a great job. Like, she's a Hall of Famer, and that's a big change. And so the fact that they decided to come back for their 5th year speaks volumes to what Sherry built and what Jenny is trying to continue.
You saw that graphic on Williams and Robertson. They're one of 2 schools in the NCAA to have 2 2,000-point scorers.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
Right now tonight, though, Tech's doing a pretty good job on those 2 incredible scores.
Talking to Maddie and also Anna Yanusa in the media day back in October, they both said we still had something to prove. Inside, Gerlich's going to be called for the foul. And that'll be her first. And they both said we saw what we had coming back. We wanted to be part of it.
Right.
You got to love that.
You really do.
And here is is Scott again. Only 58% from the stripe this season. And a good look at Coach Jenny Baranchek, the Des Moines, Iowa native. First OU coach to sweep Baylor and Oklahoma State in the regular season. Did that last season. And Oklahoma will have it. Down by 4. They've missed their last 5 field goal attempts.
You know, Coach talked with us yesterday, Coach Baranchek, about how she doesn't feel like they've been in a great flow recently offensively. So I'm sure she's not real happy with it. She just wants them to relax and play basketball.
I still like her line. We play better when we're happy.
Right. Well, doesn't everybody?
Yeah, Yanusa, no, gets it back again and drains it. Ana Yanusa in double figures with 11. Last 3 games, she's hit 45% from 3. She's averaged 25 points a game in those 3.
And she can score the ball well enough without giving her easy second chance opportunities. A third of their points right now are coming off of offensive rebounds.
Chevalier on top. Weitenheimer against her former team. On top, Maupin wide open. Look, and makes them pay with a 3.
We said there was going to be a lot of assists tonight. That was a beautiful assist by Chevalier to share the ball to Bailey Maupin, the better shooter. Extra pass, good to great. You love it.
How about 10 assists tonight for Texas Tech? They only average a shade under 14. And Jenna Cross blows the whistle, and a foul is going to be called. Watch how this play develops.
It all starts with a dribble penetration by Tatum Weitenheimer. Draws defenders, little dump pass to Chevalier, good to great to wide open, talented shooter. That's how us coaches draw it up right there.
Absolutely. Maupin coming off a 14-point game versus TCU. Most points she's had since December 1st, when she had 17 versus Alabama State. And at the line again, it's going to be Scott. Scott gets them both. But Tech has hit 5 of their last 6 shots as we go inside of 125.5. Bailey Maupin, not a good pass. Lewis had position, though.
She did. It just needed a little bit more air underneath that so Jazz could go get it, you know. That's what these guards need to understand. These post players are holding off big women,
exactly.
You know. You got to have that placed really nice and neatly there because it's physical down on the block.
I like this matchup with Chevalier on top. Chevalier doesn't score a whole lot, but she's feisty on defense.
I love watching her defend.
Robertson's spin move, that should be a travel, and it will. And I wonder if Taylor may be getting a little frustrated, but I don't think so because she's a senior.
Right, she knows she's going to play her percentages. She knows she's going to get going eventually, but great defensive play there by the Lady Raiders.
Oklahoma shooting just 35% of this game. Tech at 48%. And Bre'Amber Scott adds to that with her second 3 of the night.
Good. No time for celebrating, though.
No.
OU is going to come right back at you. You got to get back.
Tech has hit 6 of their last 7 inside. Yanusa, beautiful cut.
That's when we talk about her being such a pretty shooter and catch and shoot, but what's underrated about Yanusa is her ability to move off the ball. She cuts, she moves, she hunts shots. She's just a smart offensive player. And
she's unselfish, averages 2.5 assists a game. Shot clock, about a 3-second difference, shot of the game clock. Tech closing out this first half on a pretty good little run. Weitenheimer on top, Maupin. That should be a travel, and it will be. Just dragged the foot a little bit. So the Sooners with 5.7 left in the half. A lot of time to get something off. But Tech has hit 6 of their last 7. And again, Maddie Williams has been on the bench a lot after picking up her second personal foul. Maddie only playing 15 minutes in this game so far. Outside, no. There they are. The whole game, tried to get you on camera. You finally got them on.
They have been cheering like crazy for the Lady Raiders tonight, and you love to see it.
Even the officials came up and gave them all high fives because these guys have been nonstop. But for Krista Gerlich, she knows that this Oklahoma team is very competitive.
Right, and I think these first 3 minutes out of halftime are critical for these two teams. Who's going to come out firing? Who's going to execute? Who's going to kind of flex first?
And they flex first, the Oklahoma Sooners.
And I'm not surprised it's Maddie Williams. She knows she did not bring enough to the table in the first half.
6 minutes and 26 seconds. She picked up her second personal foul, had to sit. Katie Farrell also picked up 2. Turn around, Scott. Didn't start the game, but Scott 13.
Right, and this is going to be a fun matchup to watch these two defend each other.
Wide open, that's a defensive breakdown. That allowed Maddie Williams to get the easy deuce.
Yeah, Bree just tried to get around her in the post, and they were able to lob it right into her.
Now Maddie Williams, the leader of this Oklahoma team, hands down. Shavers, Gerlich for 3 over Yanusa, buries it.
Again, well-executed offense there out of a little horn set, little guard-to-guard action. Good penetration and kick to an open shooter. Really good execution there by both teams so far out of halftime.
Let me tell you about Bryn Gerlich. She was in so much pain Saturday. They finally did a little procedure on her on Monday to try to alleviate some of the pain. Tot, no. Robertson the rebound. Foul on Tatum Weitenheimer. Didn't practice Monday, practiced yesterday, and then after practice, she probably shot for an hour. And I was sitting with Coach Gerlich, and I said, I can't believe that, because she could barely walk on Sunday and Monday. And Bryn told me, she goes, my leg feels better. The back still hurts a little bit, but she looks at me and she goes, I'm a senior.
Right.
This is it for me.
Exactly, and she understands that, you know, your team goes as your seniors go. And Bryn is going to bring it every night. She's so tough. You see her out there taking charges when her back is in pain. You know, like we talked about in the first half. She's going to do everything she can to not let this team down.
Of course, her father, Brian, played linebacker here at Tech, and I said, Krista, no offense, but Bryn is tougher than your husband.
You might be right.
Yeah, she agreed with me, by the way, just for the record, okay?
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. Spin move, Shavers, tough shot. No! Katie Farrell goes down hard. Robertson comes out of the pack quickly up ahead to Tot. Oh, beautiful cut. Great pass from Tot. That is her 3rd assist.
This defense wasn't rotated over there to pick up that Scott cutting down the middle of the paint.
Tell you, if you're coaching a young team, tell your players to watch Oklahoma. Everybody's head is up when they have the ball looking for cutters.
And they have good ball movement. They share the basketball.
Tot comes out of the pack. Her mother, an outstanding player, was coached by Dan Hughes, Helen Darling. Played 2 teams in the WNBA, and a whistle and a charge. Second one for Bryn.
Yes.
I'm telling you, her body's going to fall apart.
I think she's going to earn a day off tomorrow.
I think she is too. She's not afraid to take them.
No, but that's what you've got to do against Oklahoma, because
Exactly.
they're just going to come at you and come at you and come at you, and you've got to get back. You've got to stop the ball, and sometimes they get going so fast, you can take charges against this team.
That's Tot's first personal foul. Katie Farrell up front, Maddie Williams on her. Shavers for 3. Yes. Texas Tech 6 of 10 beyond the arc. Boy, Robertson being hounded by Weitenheimer. They're good friends. Whistle, foul, count the basket. That is a pretty play by Liz Scott.
It was, and a tough foul there by Bryn, but Scott was able to get her shoulder down and get by Bryn. There wasn't much else she could do there.
Well, Bryn Gerlich has picked up her 3rd personal foul. That is a big loss because Coach Gerlich's going to sit her down.
Right, but I don't expect her to sit too long. Again, Bryn being that veteran senior for them, she's so smart. She understands. She's one of those players that you can trust to play her without picking up quick, cheap fouls.
3-point play completed. Scott with 11 in the ball game to go along with 3 rebounds and a couple of assists. Another complete game for her. The lead is just 3. Williams on Weitenheimer, the former roommates. Tried to sneak that in. Scott kept it alive, but they turned it over into the hands of Robertson. Oklahoma with numbers. Robertson lets it fly. And Robertson 0 for 3 now shooting. Bre'Amber, Scott for 3. No. Robertson the board. That's her 5th rebound of the ball game.
Both teams doing a good job so far not allowing offensive rebounds as the teams have gotten into a couple of misses here and there over the last few minutes.
Janusa will run the point out front. And the shot goes down.
Taylor Robertson does not hit many shots inside the arc. But I tell you, sometimes it's just, you just need to see the ball go through the net to get yourself going. Great back cut there. Maupin just kind of lost her and was able to score easy bucket.
Started out 0 for 3. That was a 2. Usually hits 3s. But when I've watched her now for a number of years, she can just explode. Maupin, no. Robertson takes it away. What a job she has done on the boards. The 3 for Janusa, parries it. And the Sooners have taken the lead.
And that's where Oklahoma is so dangerous. You can't let them going, hitting 3s in transition. That's where they can really, really hurt you.
An 8-0 run for Oklahoma in the first 5 minutes here of quarter number 3. Inside of 10 to shoot. Scott. That's going to be an offensive foul. Janusa was sliding. That was close. How about Ana Janusa, coach? Though she's checking in with 16 already. In 3-pointers made, 2nd in 3-point field goal percentage, 2nd in 3-point field goals made. She is the active leader in 3-pointers hit. That is incredible. 56 straight games, she's hit at least 1 3-pointer.
She's hands down one of the best shooters in the country right now, and deservedly so, right? But Tech has done a really good job tonight of limiting her 3s at the arc.
Sneaking behind the back, and they got it with Skylar Vann. And the run is now a 10-0 run of the scoring drought for Texas Tech, closing it on 2.5 minutes. Oklahoma's hit their last 3 field goal attempts. Lewis posting up, and she shuffled the feet. That'll only be the 7th turnover.
I like the idea of going into Jazz. They just can't get so focused on it that there's no movement, and they're still not, moving without the ball.
Chevalier trying to keep step for step up with Todd. Inside again, Skylar Vann. She has killed Texas Tech in the past, and the lead is 12-0, and Bre'Amber Scott up off the Lady Raiders bench. Again, Bryn Gerlich is back in the lineup, but she's playing with 3 personal fouls.
Well, OU is smartly going at Jazz Lewis and making that. They've set back screens for her for Skylar Vann both times in a row, forcing Jasmine to get through a back screen to guard Skylar Vann, and it's resulted in a layup twice in a row.
And here's what we've seen throughout the season. Again, Krista Gerlich going a little bit smaller, Jazz Lewis going out, Bre'Amber Scott coming in.
Right, and honestly, it's a little bit better defensively. Jazz brings you so much good, efficient offense at times, but sometimes against, smaller, faster post players, it's a tough matchup.
Riley McKinney, they want her to shoot more. McKinney has not taken a shot tonight. Scott, baseline, got it. She's got 15. That stops a 12-0 run. Tot on Chevalier, scoop, no. Rebound, no. Pulled away by Farrell, and the foul is going to be on Skylar Vann.
Great battle on the glass there, and they have to have that. And they needed that basket, Tech did, really badly, because OU is such a high-powered scoring team. If you go on too long of droughts, that's when OU can make comebacks. That's when they can really stretch the lead out. So Tech's got to continue to find ways to score the basketball.
Largest run for Tech has been 6-0. The largest lead has been 6. Largest lead for Oklahoma was 9. Texas Tech led at intermission. Shot clock at 10. Scott sees the double, lost it. Into the hands of Jones.
They just really crowded her driving lanes there. She didn't have much. They needed to just keep moving the basketball, setting good screens, executing.
Boy, Maddie Williams, great position on Katie Farrell inside.
She's really good around the rim when she can get those deep post finishes.
Maddie Williams only 3 points in that opening half. She's got 6 here in the third. McKinney, tough pull up, short-armed it, and it'll belong to Oklahoma. It looked as though Oklahoma was the last to touch it. Good job by the officiating crew changing it as we look at that last basket again.
Just a really good post-up high-low in the middle of the floor there. Maddie Williams had a good seal on Katie Farrell. Katie smartly stayed straight up, didn't foul her. She knows it's more important for her to stay on the floor.
Maddie Williams is going to get a little bit of a breather. Final 2:29 here in the third. McKinney, wide open three, buries it.
They needed that, and OU was in a little bit of a zone there. Good inside-out ball movement again by Tech to find the open shooter. And we know Riley McKinney did not, she barely missed a shot in the non-conference, so I think she needs to see that for her own confidence.
Top from the outside, no, Scott the rebound. They're going to call a foul against Texas Tech. And it's going to be against Katie Farrell. And she's upset, and the players are just saying, calm down.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get Bre'Amber on that, so I didn't see what happened with Katie.
But did you see when Bre'Amber thought it was going to be called on her, she walked away.
Yep, yep.
Good for her. Now here it is again on Cat. Well, I just thought it was just two people fighting for position.
She didn't hook her, but she was just boxing around. Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a cheap one when games are this physical. That I don't like that call.
Good job by Bryn Gerlich poking it away, but the Sooners have it inside of 2 to play. Jones, no, and the foul's going to be against Skylar Van. Running over Bre'Amber Scott. That'll be Van's second personal foul.
Both teams, you can tell, talked about rebounding at halftime because it has just been a battle every time a shot has gone up on the boards.
Chevalier now running the point out front. Ella Tofeono getting position inside. The move with the left hand, no. Tried to keep it alive and commits the infraction. That'll be Ella's second personal foul. You know, we talked about Ella being so efficient over the last couple of weeks of the season. Here are some of the numbers to back that up.
You know, normally when she gets post catches down there, you see she's gotten so much better at being patient with her post moves, going around the rim. She's going to finish at a high clip, and I'm going to give Coach Lynette Pearson a shout out for that because she's done such a great job with these post players and working with them in the post and understanding how to seal, you know, how to finish. And, you know, Ella gives them really good minutes off the bench in the post.
Skylar Van gets the free throws 2 of the last 3 games. She's had 10 rebounds each. She has been such a factor for this team. The junior out of Deer Creek High School in Edmond, a suburb of Oklahoma City. Bryn Gerlich using that right arm to try to get position. Foul's going to be called. Tucker got a piece of her.
That was just a determined drive to the basket. Bryn was going to back her down and get as close as she could get and get herself to the foul line. And that's just a senior doing whatever you need to do to win this ball game.
Weitenheimer comes back into the lineup for Tech. Ashley Chevalier goes out, and here is Bryn Gerlich. Was accepted into a physical therapy program. It's a 3-year program. I guess she becomes a doctor then.
Yeah, she's going to be great at whatever she decides to do. But if I ever need physical therapy, I will go to Bryn Gerlich.
Absolutely, and she'll know a little bit about physical therapy since she's had so much. At her season high 16 last game versus TCU. She was 8 of 9 from the floor in that game. Taylor Robertson checks back into the lineup for the Sooners, trying to keep that 56-game streak of hitting a 3 alive. Came into this game just 10 3-pointers made away from the all-time lead in the NCAA, which is held by one of the greats in college and the WNBA, Kelsey Mitchell.
Just, talk about an incredible score.
Oh, wow. Yanusa switches and picks up Gerlich. Bren tries to go up and under, gets the foul called again.
That's her little signature move there. I love her little step through move, get the defender up in the air, step through, big step off their hip, and get herself to the foul line. She's just gotten really crafty down there. She's strong, she's physical, powering that up, getting the foul.
And Gerlich will go to the line again where she's 2 for 2. 10 points for Bren, back-to-back double-figure games, 5 rebounds and 5 assists. What a senior year she is having. Better than a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Had only missed 6 free throws coming into this game. Here's Tot. 1-point advantage with 48 seconds left in the third for Oklahoma.
Good defense so far by the Lady Raiders, really making them work the clock, getting Tot stopped in transition.
Gerlich staying right with Yanusa, but that allows the lane to open wide up for Skylar Vann.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup because Skylar Vann's really good on the perimeter. She can shoot it. You saw her, just a little pump fake, got Ella off her feet, and then it was just a wide open layup. Ella's got to be able to stay down on the perimeter.
And you saw that Gerlich didn't want to leave Yanusa.
Right.
So she was kind of in a no man's land. About a half a second difference shot of the game clock. Weitenheimer. McKinney pull up from 19, and she's got 5 in the ball game. Robertson at the buzzer, not going to get it. So Texas Tech led. WNBA coach Brandy Poole, I'm Ron Thune. Good to have you with us. What stands out is points in the paint. Oklahoma plus 16 points in the paint in this game.
Right, they've just done a really good job of back screening on that little scissor cut into the paint. They've cut through the paint well. You know, they've gone off the bounce. They've gotten offensive putbacks. So they've just done a really good job scoring in the paint.
Gerlich leans inside. Yanusa having a monster game again with 16 points. And it ends up in a layup.
You know, Tech hasn't given up very many of those this game, and they can't start doing it now in the fourth quarter.
The lead is 3. Gerlich now being guarded by Scott. McKinney, catch and shoot, no. Weitenheimer offensive rebound, they get a fresh 20. Scott uses 1 second of that and buries it. Scott with 18, and we're tied.
Best time to shoot threes off of offensive rebounds. You saw that early in the game for Oklahoma. Bre'Amber Scott, again, just confidently stepping up, making that 3.
5th tie, 8 lead changes, and the 2 goes down for Taylor Robertson. Still looking for that 3.
Right, but at least they're making her go 2 by 2 by 2,
exactly.
And not by 3s.
She can put 3 or 4 in a row. Gerlich, and she knocks down the 3. Gerlich with 15.
Tell you what, shooting threes is not typically Tech's strength, but man, they have the ability to do so. And right now, they're just confidently stepping up at the arc.
Robertson's 3 off the mark. Offensive rebound and put back by Maddie Williams.
Got to put a body on her and keep her off the glass.
Oh, every time.
Those second chance points are what's going to, you know, be the difference in the game down the stretch.
We've got a whistle and a foul.
Tech's just been really aggressive, though, off the bounce tonight, attacking, putting pressure on OU's defenders, making them guard and getting themselves to the foul line.
The foul was on Maddie Williams. That is her 3rd personal foul, but she will not come out, I bet. Tech turns it over. Bad time to turn it over. Into the hands of Nevaeh Tot. Williams. Pump fakes on her roommate.
Tough little baseline turnaround.
Yeah.
There, but yeah, got her up in the air a little bit.
Got a funny feeling Maddie's going to remind her about that after the game.
Right.
A little pump fake and you bit. And the lead is 3 for the Sooners. McKinney left wide open. Top got it tied up a little bit.
Yeah, Tot went under that screen. You can't leave McKinney that wide open.
And McKinney was so wide open. Inside, Bryn puts up the hands. Offensive rebound, no. Fighting hard as Liz Scott lost it into the hands of Weitenheimer. And Bre'Amber Scott says, let's settle down a little bit here.
Good decision. They need a good offensive possession here. They got the ball back.
Bailey Maupin wants to check in the Tex lineup. Scott, no. Shavers fights for the offensive rebound. Scott, who's got a whistle and a foul inside. Maddie Williams, I think, got her hand jammed a little bit.
Yeah, I don't love that shot from Bre'Amber Scott. I like her aggressiveness, but they could have worked the ball and got something a little bit better on that possession. So a little bit lucky here. Jazz Shavers able to go get that offensive rebound, get fouled, get herself to the foul line.
Maddie Williams will go out. Liz Scott will also go out for the Sooners. I mean, this is a powerful Oklahoma team. They're on pace to shatter Oklahoma's record for points per game, was set in 84-85. That was 84.5. Saw the foul update. Both teams got players that are teetering on that.
Tech has gone back to their small lineup and their scoring lineup. This is a big-time scoring lineup for Texas Tech.
Jazz Shavers, she's got 11 in the ball game to go along with 5 boards. The lead of Oklahoma is 1. 68th meeting between these two teams. From the outside, buried by Skylar Van.
Good for her to step up confidently, because she has not had a great game offensively shooting the basketball. So to step up in the 4th quarter and knock down her jumper.
You know, when you and I talked to Jenny Baranchik before they played in the Maggie Dixon Classic, she talked about Skylar Van, what a great offseason she had. That ball's kicked. That's a pretty good kick.
Yeah.
Somebody called Coach Venables.
I think what I like about Skylar Van is she understands her role. She's good in her role. She accepts her role, and she comes in and does whatever she needs to do.
Maupin baseline, tough shot. Rebound pulled away by Culleton, the freshman out of Overland Park, Kansas. That's her first board. Tech will have it, trailing by 3.
They were trying to get that into the mismatch with Skylar Van down low on Bre'Amber Scott. Bre'Amber was battling with her and luckily got that tipped out of bounds.
Tech no field goals the last 2:41. They've missed their last 4 shots. Scott being guarded by Van. Maupin couldn't save it. That'll be a turnover.
Just a little miscommunication there.
Exactly.
I think Riley McKinney was cutting back door. Bre'Amber was ready to kick it to her on the wing.
And Bree Scott tried to take that step, and then there was no place to go.
No. And this is where you've got to lock in. You have to execute. You have to get stops down the stretch of this game.
Comes down to the little things. Jenny Baranchik saying their team the last 2 years have played well in close games. The 3 by Yanusa. She's got 19 tonight.
Yeah, she's on track to get her Big 12 average of 25 tonight. And you know you can count on your seniors to step up and make big shots when you need them. Playing so confidently for them as a senior. As we talked about in the open, I think she's happy to be back in Big 12
I think
play.
so, too.
And it shows.
Let's talk about what Oklahoma is doing incredibly well, and that is rebounding. You got a percentage number that blew me away.
Right. They've got 17 offensive rebounds, but when you put it in perspective, they've missed 30 shots so far, and they've gotten 17 of them back. That's a 48% offensive rebounding percentage. Most teams want to keep that around 33%, so that is just too high. Too many second chance opportunities for an already talented offensive team.
Now, Katie Farrell is going to be called for the offensive foul, and that'll be number 5 on her. And that is tough. That's her 4th straight Big 12 game she has fouled out of.
It really is unfortunate. She's such a talented player, but she has just been saddled with foul trouble all Big 12 season, and they really need her on the floor because she just brings so much to this team. But, you know, some of her fouls have just been cheap ones or just being aggressive, and she's got to find a way to eliminate some of those.
Well, Riley McKinney's going to check into the lineup. And this is an interesting lineup. It is almost a 5-guard lineup.
It is a 5-guard lineup.
I looked up, I went, okay, who'd be the Gerlich, I guess.
It's 5 scoring guards, though.
There you go.
And they need to generate some points right now.
And Yanusa is going to be fouled by Shavers. Texas Tech has not hit a field goal in the last 2:02. They've missed their last 4, and now Oklahoma can extend their advantage. And that's one of the things, we'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Combined for 50 points in that ball game. And Jenny Baranczyk saying in the last 2 years, we've learned how to close out close games. And then in Fort Worth, it was 78-70 as Texas Tech had a nice little run to end that ball game and offset Tomi Taiwo's 33 points, career high in that game for TCU.
Right, both games were incredible games to watch just as a fan of women's basketball. But what's important is both of these teams are veteran laden, right? And so they've learned to win close games, and time and score down the stretch is so huge when you're under 5 minutes here in a close game. So which team tonight is going to out-execute and make less mistakes and make big shots?
7 of the last 9 opponents for Oklahoma have shot under 39%. Tech shot 50% in the first half. Scott gets open. That stops a 6-0 Oklahoma run.
That's the second time tonight they've gotten OU with that little back screen play and walked in for layups. Bailey Maupin got 1 in the first half.
Great job by Bryn Gerlich coming up with a steal, her first of the ball game.
We always talk about score, stop, score. So they got to score, they got to stop. Can they get a score here to string some scores together?
How about that turnover margin? Second in the Big 12. Can't get it to go. Robertson pulls it away.
Those are the ones you can't leave on the board.
Robertson still looking for her first 3 of the ball game. As soon as she catches it, Maupin was right in front of her, but a great play on the inside. Skylar Vann opens up. That is the 23rd assist for Oklahoma in this game.
Few over their average tonight.
Not bad on 31 baskets made. And the lead is stretched to 8. They led by 9 in the first quarter. Whistle and a foul on the drive. How about these passes?
Again, she just did a good job spinning and sealing on Bre'Amber Scott as Bre'Amber's trying to fight around to front her and just battle with her. And when they move the ball to the wing, it's just an easy post entry layup there for Skylar Vann.
And you can see OU foul trouble. Maddie Williams with 4, Tucker 4, Yanusa with 3, Scott 2, Vann 2. Maupin no, and it's been a cold streak now for the Lady Raiders. Quick turnaround, parried. Skylar Vann did not hesitate.
No, and after a 1 of 7 start to this game, she's really come alive, scoring the basketball in the second half.
Last year, first Power 5 player to average 11.5, 5.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, fewer than 2 starts. And the lid is on the basket for the Lady Raiders. We go inside of 3.
It really is. They've missed 3 straight baskets inside the arc, essentially, the restricted arc. They've got to put those points in the basket.
How about Ana Yanusa? 4 games of 20 points in a row. First time since 2019. And when you think of all the injuries, it's probably the last time she played.
Right, exactly. She has just been in a zone since the start of Big 12 play.
I want to thank Josh Poteet, Sports Information Director for the women's basketball, coming up with that little nugget. I love that stuff.
Right.
I tell all the SIDs, give me that stuff. I like us.
Some of these guys have incredible game notes too, with crazy good stats for these women.
OU's hit their last 4 shots. Texas Tech, only 1 of their last 8. And the lead is 10, biggest of the game for either team. Ella Tofeono, nice pass. McKinney has it rejected by Vann.
Like we talked about earlier, against such a good scoring team like Oklahoma, you just can't have long scoring droughts.
And the streak continues for Taylor Robertson. Her 57th straight game with a 3. How about 488 career 3-pointers for Taylor Robertson? But for Oklahoma, more importantly, Taylor Robertson, what an incredible career for the redshirt senior out of McPherson, Kansas. Over 2,000 career points, went over that this season. You know, she just has such confidence in her shot. We've remarked over the years, watching her in so many situations, no matter where her feet are, anything, it leaves her hand the same way every time.
Right.
Ella rolls to the hoop. Great pass from Gerlich. Her 6th assist. Stops an 8-0
good
run.
Offense there. When they execute and set good screens, they're getting good shots.
Offensive rebound, no. 1:56 to play. Plenty of time. The lead is 9 for the Sooners. Gerlich launches. Gets the bounce. She's got a season-high 18. McKinney on the steal. Can't finish. Quick outlet to Robertson. Here is Yanusa. Beautiful pass. Knocks over Gerlich. No foul called. But out of Yanusa, another assist. That's her 5th of the ball game. How about this for Oklahoma? Todd, Yanusa, Van, all with 5 or more assists. Van's got 6. That is amazing.
It is, and that's just a credit to their offense and sharing the ball.
Bree Scott knocks down the 3.
Well, Tech needed to generate some points quickly, and they've been able to come down and do that now, so they've got to get some stops.
Back-to-back-to-back 20-point games for Bree Scott. The lead is 7 inside of 55 to play. Williams on McKinney. Robertson, there's that quick release splash.
You can't leave her for a second. Riley McKinney helped off. Like, give up the 2. Give up the 2 instead of leaving Taylor Robertson on ball side. You can't leave good shooters in ball side corners.
Bryn Gerlich with 34 seconds. Lets it fly into the hands of Robertson. What a game this has been. Texas Tech led at halftime. They led 42-38. At the end of 3, Oklahoma led 62-61. And Oklahoma,
been a great game.
Great game.
Both sides of the ball. Both teams have battled. Both teams have made big shots.
Williams from the outside, no. Robertson lets it go. Oklahoma on their way to winning their 10th out of their last 11th. Looking for their first regular season title since 2009.
I think at the end of the day, the Lady Raiders are just going to be really disappointed in their rebounding numbers tonight.